So you want to captain the Massachusetts. Well, do you like secondaries? Do you like museum ships? And do you like to have fun? Then the Massachusetts is for you. Now, if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. It will mean the world to me, and that means you won't miss the next So You Want to Captain series. And let's begin. The history of the Massachusetts is pretty long-ish, kind of uneventful. It's got little bumps here and there where it's actually entertaining. But of course, Wargaming did the whole Naval Legends video a lot better than I can. So for time's sakes, we're just going to touch the highlights. So here we go. So the ship was commissioned in May 12th, 1942, and basically as soon as she was commissioned, she was sent over to North Africa. Basically, she took on the Vichy forces for the Battle of Casablanca. Basically, the big note there was it was the Massachusetts versus the Jean Bart. The Jean Bart was not completed yet. It was basically had a couple of turrets operational, not everything functional. She was basically anchored in Casablanca harbor. And then the Massachusetts just kept hurling shots at the French and basically took down the Jean Bart, disabling her. Basically, where we were able to take the Jean Bart back over to the U.S. and have her repaired and, you know, be able to use her. But that was her early career. That was kind of like the super highlights of it, because then she goes over to the Pacific Campaign. And the problem with the Pacific Campaign, of course, is it's all about the carriers. There's no battleships, really. There's not really that many battleship fights. So for the most part, once she joined the Pacific Campaign, she was doing a bunch of shore bombardments, protecting of convoys, and protecting the carrier. She did get refitted about halfway through the war. That's just to basically add more guns for her AA defense, which is always good. And basically, she was a part of the Battle of Leyte Gulf, but she didn't have like a big, big role in it. She was just to support, basically supporting the fleet. Nothing crazy about her, but of course, Battle of Leyte Gulf, Taffy 3, that's a whole different story. Covered that in my Fletcher series, so make sure you check out that. Here's a plug right here. And basically, the last thing about this ship is she did fire her last 16. She fired the last 16-inch shell of World War II. Whenever she was bombarding the, facilities around Hiroshima. Oh my goodness, I am sorry if I mispronounced that, but Hiroshima. And then basically, she was eventually turned into a museum ship, which you can still visit today. It's probably one of the cooler things I've ever seen, and I'm so glad that Wargaming did a Naval Legends on her so that you can see all the cool stuff about her. Highly recommend checking her out if you can. So, in-game, the Massachusetts is this kind of weird blend between the Alabama and North Carolina, and it's this beautiful blend together that just makes her so much fun. I have to say it. She has really good AA defense, which is saying something-ish, maybe. I don't know. AA doesn't exist in this game, to be honest with you, I feel like. And then also she has an amazing secondary gun arrangement if you want to go the secondary build, which is most preferred build, and it's the most fun build, to be honest with you. Her secondaries are immensely powerful on range, that most ships can't touch you back on secondaries, and they don't do a lot of damage, but they're, got the range and got the fire ability of it, or fire reload ability, so fast reloads. That was a word, I know. So that's always good. She's got good torpedo protection, not as good as, the protection of the Alabama, but she's like, once again, this weird blend between the Alabama and the North Carolina. The guns are going to be like the North Carolina, so if you're used to the North Carolina guns where they're kind of stay in the air for a while and you have to lead your targets a lot further than normal, then you're going to be pretty much right at home with the Massachusetts. Once again, the only downside to her is her dispersion's kind of pretty bad. It can be really bad at times, and you're just like, where are those shots going? But for the most part, her gun handling themselves are really good. Like, the turrets rotate pretty fast. Everything about the ship is pretty overall average. Like, everything's good. Everything counteracts to each other. She probably will not ever have to deal with like a buff or a nerf anytime soon. She's just one of those rare ships in the game that's really, you know, overall not overpowered and not underpowered. She's just perfect where she's at. She's balanced. They balance the ship. So once again, her big aspects are her secondary guns. Main guns are still fun and usable. She can turn pretty well. Her turning sucks, but she's, you know, still faster than what most people are used to on lower tier US battleships, so that always helps. And she's just overall, you know, just a good average ship. And I'm so glad that Wargaming has like at least brought her into the game, did a huge video, a Naval Legends on her and everything. And so her legacy can still continue, and it continues outside so that you can visit that museum. That's the part I really think is the best part about this game, is it brings light to historical monuments, museums, anything history-wise, and preserves it. So these, like, you know, their YouTube video is going to be up there forever, and you basically can, you know, watch it, watch the history of it, see the men that served on this ship, and just see the overall history. And that's why I love this ship. It's got history. It's got, you know, nothing broken on her. I would probably recommend buying her. Now, I will throw in a little catch. This is the last point too. Basically, here are the captain perks. And now, the captain perks on her, you build her basically, if you're playing just this ship and this captain just for this ship, you want to go secondary build. It's a lot of fun. It's a glorious time. Now, if you're trying to put another captain in there for like your Iowa and or Montana, you probably don't want to go down the secondary route. You probably want detection and some other stuff here and there. Because the Iowa and Montana aren't as good secondary ships as the Massachusetts. So you just have to be careful with what captains you use, and you don't want to just like accidentally choose a perk that you will never use. So just be careful whenever you're using her to grind your captains up. But she is a great ship to get credits on, a great ship to get captain experience. This is probably like the best tier for her, and to be honest with you, it's probably one of the better ships that is just underrated, because there's always something broken in the game at the moment of time. But at this tier, she's probably one of the top win percentages, and just overall one of the more fun ships to play. I've never not had fun playing with her, except whenever, you know, you get BS'd on, or, you know, airplanes. But, you know, you got AA defense, you're gonna be good. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on the next So You Want a Captain series. Let me know down in the comment sections what you want to see next. This video right here was based off of you guys, so just make sure you put down what you want to see next, and I'll do it for you. And with that, I think I covered everything. So, oh, one last thing. Sorry, I just go on and on. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a 24-hour stream. So make sure to also follow my Twitter account, because I'll let you know the day and time that we'll start that 24-hour stream. We're going to be doing it both on Twitch and YouTube, so you can choose whichever platform you like. And with that being said, now I'm done. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and thanks. Bye-bye.